Hey, good evening, and welcome to another edition of It's Just Me, hosted by Brent Fox, of course. Um, my apologies about last Thursday. I basically just had some work situation that really dominated my time both last week and this week. As you can tell from my face, I have been working a whole lot, very long hours. Um, anyway, I just want to talk about the two things that I'm, of course, very passionate about now. That is first and foremost going to be my Pittsburgh Steelers, and then, of course, the great art of boxing. Um, now, I'll first go over the Pittsburgh Steelers' victory over the Atlanta Falcons. Um, Kenny Pickett really looked good, and lately, his ball placement as far as some of the throws that he's actually making is second to none. Um, he was able to hit George Pickens on a deep pass. Yes, George Pickens is a phenomenal athlete and basically will catch anything. But a good quarterback is actually going to put it in the area to where either the receiver gets it or the ground basically gets it, um, to say the very least. Um, I also was very impressed by our running game yesterday. We were able to advance the ball, protect and advance the ball, excuse me, down the field on the Atlanta Falcons defense. Um, and all three running backs, Najee, um, Jalen, Jalen Warren, of course, and then oh Lord, why am I going blank? Um, Anthony McFarland. All did great jobs. The long McFarland run was a very exciting and nice touch. I do think that that would help solidify his role in the offense as a third running back, and also a specialist. Okay, very important to put in that detail as well. As far as individual position groups go, of course, the entire offensive line, which consists of um, two guards, two tackles, it's going to be one set on each side. So you're going to have like a left guard, left tackle. Of course, you'll have a right guard, right tackle. Just outside of that right tackle is going to be traditionally your tight end. Um, Connor Hayward even got in on the action as far as running the ball, which was pretty refreshing to see, or nostalgic rather. People remember when his father was actually in the Georgia Dome and wanting to make sure that they defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers soundly. Um, Something else that I just want to kind of move on to, um, before I get too in depth with the Steelers is the upcoming fight with Jared Big Baby Anderson. I think that fight is actually tonight, and if I'm not mistaken, it may still be going on as I am recording now. Oh, hey, Coach 67. Thank you for stopping by, brother. I appreciate it. Um, I'm just doing a quick rundown. I missed last week, and I'm just trying to make up for a lost time with this particular week. But it has been a long, long day, and I still want to make sure that I show, like, literally show my face and um, let you guys know that being on here is a priority for me. Um, just got through talking about my Steelers, also, Coach. They have improved in several position areas from last year's roster, and last year's roster built up momentum towards the end of the season, which is what you basically need for a team that's actually going to make a deep playoff run. Now, again, my prediction for my Pittsburgh Steelers at minimum, we have a 10-7 record. Um, that 7, of course, being from the extra game. And then we also, my actual stance on it would be 11-6, as far as the particular season goes. So no losing season for Coach Tomlin this year either, barring something catastrophic. Um, what I would also say is the position groups that I'm most impressed with, I won't lie, are going to be, you guessed it, the offensive line and also the running backs, being able, for it not to be basically a yard in a cloud of dust or 2 yards in a cloud of dust on average, and then the play's over. There were some respectable runs that were actually ripped off by multiple people on the team who ran the football, and of course, excuse me, um, the defense, as usual, showed up and basically showed out. TJ Watt had a sack, and there were some near misses from the secondary, but you can kind of tell um, that had they just been a little bit more focused and not played down to the competition, only sometimes, then they probably would have made that score, and that would have certainly gotten the attention of the folks who do the playoff schedules, things of that nature. Um, excuse me, I'm sorry. On to boxing, and this will be real brief. Again, Jerry Big Baby Anderson does have a fight, or the real Big Baby Anderson does have a fight. I believe it's actually today. And if it is not, then of course it's going to be tomorrow, but I think it's today. He fights someone that I basically have not heard of. I will not lie. That being said, I still don't think that he blows the guy out completely to where they actually have to stop it within something ridiculous like 2 rounds or possibly 3 rounds. I think that the gentleman from the country, I'm sorry, Ukraine, the gentleman from Ukraine is probably going to give Big Baby Anderson a lot harder time than what most folks really believe is happening. Now, what I will say is that regardless of whatever the result is, I'm going to still support I'm still going to support Jared Big Baby, the real Big Baby Anderson. And I do think that, of course, he's actually the goods in the heavyweight division, which gets me excited. Um, they also have F.A. Ajagba on the undercard. Usually, when Top Rank has that type of thing going on, where you feature, of course, someone like Jared, the real Big Baby Anderson, um, and then you turn around and you have F.A. Ajagba fighting on the undercard. I think that is pretty much a setup for those two to fight possibly in the future. Um, in other boxing news, there was some excitement about Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua starting to come to in fruition. Now, what I will say to that is, while I'm extremely excited to hear about Champ and possibly, the trip to South Africa, you know, I would get a little nervous because I would take my mother, who would be a missionary to those types of things, and those are always made me nervous. But that's another story for another day too. Um, Basically, getting back on the subject um, of boxing, as I mentioned, I think it's important um, to arrange big fights like Wilder versus Joshua while they're in their prime. Back in 2017, Joshua just defeated Vlad. I called him Vladimir. Yeah. I'm sorry. It is Vladimir. Um, his brother, I think, is Natal. Yeah, is Natalie, but he defeated Vladimir. Excuse me, May of 2017. There were negotiations for fall, and then via possibly the very beginning of 2018, where they were still negotiating. Um, that's why it is imperative to make sure that for the good of the sport, the best do fight the best. If that does not happen, then you get a very unsatisfying or a series of very unsatisfying years up until this point. 2023 has been very good um, with boxing, and I think it continues its winning streak by featuring um, fighters like or fights like I believe um, Ugas versus Mario Barrios. Then you have Erickson Lubin versus Jesus Ramos, which both of those fights could be a free cable headliner, either one, and people I think would still be entertained by those particular fights. But the fight that I'm referring to is, of course, Jamero Charlo versus Canelo. Um, there are advantages on both sides, of course, but if I had to actually bet or draw a conclusion, unfortunately, my money's still going to be with Canelo, regardless of the taco situation and moving the testosterone portion so he's able to participate and then play. Participating in play, be able to participate. Um, you know what? I think that is going to have to basically be it, at least for right now. Again, once I actually just have my bearings together and my mind is right, I'll go ahead and have a more presentable show for you all. But as of right now, I just wanted to make sure that I was able to reach out, show love to those that have shown me love, and let you all know that despite all of these circumstances actually going on, I am still here for you guys, and I really do enjoy doing this with you all. This is Brent Fox. Um, this is it's just me, and I do thank you uh, for tuning in.